Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell, today I'm in a completely different environment than I normally am. And that is because I am finally getting to film a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. Just haven't really been able to due to geographic reasons. But I am now going to film for you guys finally a full face of makeup for me using only my mom's makeup. And you know, genetically, obviously, some similarities there, but actually in skin type, you know, and age and life's like period and all of that, very, very different. So I'm interested to see how some of the things she tries works. I have tried some of this stuff, but I haven't tried all of it, so I'm very curious. Before I dive into it, I also want to say I'm sorry if the lighting is a little bit harsher in here. Okay, I think that made it a little bit better. Sorry if the lighting is harsher in here though, because obviously I was able to travel with my camera, but I couldn't bring my full like light setup and everything. Luckily it's very light outside, but I'm sorry if it's a little bit darker than normal. Make sure you guys subscribe before I get into it as well, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the other videos I've got planned for you guys. But without further ado, let's dive into the makeup, shall we? Okay, so for primer, she has the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Primer. Now, I have tried the Photo Focus one. I love that one, but I have never actually tried this one. It makes sense though because she does have even drier skin than I do. So we'll just kind of apply this to my face. So yeah, I've never actually tried this one, and I have been talking about lately how I do need a more hydrating primer. So Mom might teach me a thing or two here. I will say she does have some nice stuff, but my mom isn't a huge like makeup person. She was never one, she wore some, but it was never one that like she had drawers full or collections of things. Usually it was like Estee Lauder or Clinique or like Lancome, like the things you find in like a Macy's or Nordstrom's, things like that. And no like other brands. She didn't really shop at Ulta a lot or Sephora, and kind of branch out of those very kind of old school. And she does have very sensitive skin like I do, so that's kind of a plus for me. So I know whatever I'm trying will hopefully not harm my skin too much. Another thing I'm really curious about while I wait for that to kind of soak in a little bit more, she has another Smashbox, and this is the under eye primer that's hydrating, and I've never tried an under eye primer. Just, you know, usually my regular primers that I'll put all over my face, nothing specific for this area, which, I mean, hey, if it's gonna help with my bags and the dark underneath, I'm all for it. So I'm just gonna apply that as well. For foundation, she does have the Lancome Absolute BX Makeup. This has, I guess, a sunscreen SPF of 18. She is in the shade Absolute Pearl, which, you know, she's a little bit lighter than I am, but we'll see if this works. And again, Lancome, Estee Lauder, all of that. Never tried this foundation, so we'll see how this works for me. She does have a little sponge here, so I will just use that to apply it. That's pretty close. That might work for me. Now, I have no idea if this is a matte finish. I'm sure it's not because she likes a little bit more of like a natural finish. I have no idea if it's full coverage, light coverage. I don't know much about this foundation, all except for it smells really good. It smells like gardenias or like magnolia or something. It's flowery, but it's almost like a citrus flower. It's not like a lavender or a rose where it's really just kind of that floral scent. Does that make sense to anybody? No. Anyway, it's very nice smell. Oh, it's like a sweet olive smell. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it's smelling. It's lovely. I like it. I'm digging it just for the scent alone, which I'm not a big scent person, so for me that's a big deal, which is why I keep harping on it. So already I'm kind of like hating myself for doing this because that I know is not the most inexpensive foundation, and I'm like in love with it. It is pretty darn full coverage. It's a good color shade for me, first of all. Well, let's just recognize how amazing that is. But I love like the way it's looking on my skin. It's like a very natural, but like, you know, just your skin but better. It has a very natural finish, and it was very full coverage. It's extremely lightweight, and it just feels very soothing, and it's not really very sticky even without any powder on it. So I think I'm in love a little bit with that foundation. I'm gonna have to go get it. I think I'm gonna have to. For concealer, this is one I do have, so I'm not gonna like share on it too much. She has the Instant Age Rewind concealer by Maybelline, and she's in the shade Ivory. I watched some of these videos, and you know, when you have like mixed children, which is, there's nothing wrong with it, but when you do, sometimes skin types don't match the same, or they're just very, very different. I lost my sponge. Now I'm just gonna look like a crazy person. Yeah, so I watched some of these videos and they're like not the same whatsoever, so I'm really lucky that we are. And I did ask my mom for permission to do this ahead of time, saying, hey, this is an idea I've been really wanting to try. Is it okay? She's like, yeah, of course, whatever. But she's currently at work, so she has no idea what I actually chose, and I'm interested to see like what her opinions are as I do this. By the way, for powder next, she has the Bye Bye Pores by It Cosmetic in Translucent, so that's what I will be using. But so when I was going through her makeup drawer, without her here, my mom is not somebody who is like a real like lipsticky person. She will wear like balms, or she'll wear like sometimes lip glosses to like help nourish her lips and like hydrate them, but she's not like a lipstick. Excuse me. She was never one to wear like a ton of makeup. She has like her favorites and her favorite brands, and that's just what she's stuck to. It wasn't just like drawers and drawers full like I have. But she doesn't have a lot of lipstick, so there's only one shade that I really had to choose from, literally, and it was one I can guarantee you she got when she was buying like foundation or something. And it was like, I spend this much and you get a free gift with like the Estee Lauder stuff. You know, when you can get like free gifts at like Macy's and stuff from them. So I'm a little bit worried about that look because it's very dark and it's nothing she would actually wear, which is how I know that she actually got it from one of these little promos. So I think that might be the one I'm the most nervous about. We shall see. As I'm about to move on to the rest of my face and let the powder soak in, I'm realizing that I don't have her brushes with me, so I'm going to go run and grab those and we'll be right back to keep on going. Okay, found some brushes. Now the majority of what she has are by a brand called Party Queen, and I've never heard of them, but this one I'm using to dust away the powder is super soft, so definitely not complaining about that. So before I move on to the rest of my face, I'm going to go ahead and apply some eyeshadow primer, and this is one I also have used before, and this is the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish eyeshadow primer. Love this stuff. Great job, Mom. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this so it has time to kind of set in and blend into my skin. Now while we do that, I'm going to move on to blush. And there's two I'm going to kind of mix and match here. One is by Merle Norman, and this is their Lasting Cheek Color in Mauve Magic. This is what it looks like. My mom is very cool toned. I'm a little bit more neutral than she is. She's very cool, so I'll just apply this first. And on top of that, I did apply another blush. This is by, again, Clinique. So again, kind of the theme of what my mom goes for here. And this is one of their Cheek Pop Blush Pop powders, and this is in the shade 15 Pansy Pop. So it's really pretty. It's kind of a lilac-y shade, but on top of that mauve, I really like the way that came out. Just a little dusty. So my mom does not do bronzer. Does not bronze at all. She also doesn't highlight whatsoever. So that's interesting, and I'm looking. And the eyeshadow palette that I got also does not have like a real good highlight shade in it, so we're going to be going without that. So that's pretty much it for the face then. We're going to move on. So for eyes, the eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using is by Bare Minerals. This is what it looks like. This is the Bare Essentials, I get it, eyeshadow palette, and it's easy to tell what shade she typically uses because this light shade is really dug into. So is this pink? So really mostly the lighter shades, a little bit into the shimmers, not too much. That's just kind of interesting to see. I am actually going to go ahead and start out with the shade right next to it, which is called S Fortune. And I'm going to use this to set that primer. Just with a big fluffy brush here. My mom also does not do eyebrows, so we will not be doing eyebrows today either. So for the crease, I am then go into the shade right here called Lure, which is just a really pretty kind of cool tan shade. And I'm going to mix that with Shazam right here, which is slightly warmer. So I'm just going to mix those two and pop them into my crease. These eyeshadows are really pretty and they're really soft and actually blending really nice, but there's a lot of kickback to them. So it's interesting that she kind of chose a little bit of powder, more powdery. Is that what you want to, what I'm trying to say here? Palette when she's got dry skin. So it's kind of interesting. So to kind of deepen things a little bit more, I'm going to go into the shade right here called Mystify, which is kind of a dark plum eggplanty shade. And I'm going to put that on the outer edge of my eye. You can tell this is going to be just kind of a soft look. We're not going crazy here. Again, because this isn't really like a normal setup, I'm not sure how much you can see of what I just did. But those dark shades are actually like super pigmented, I just took the barest amount, pun kind of intended, and just very lightly put them on the outer edges, and it's there, like it's there. So really pigmented. To go on top of the inner corner and to really brighten things up, I'm going to go in with Persuasion right here, which is this really pretty kind of coppery topaz-y shade with a flat brush. I think I'm going to go wet first. So with a now wet brush, I'm going to go into Persuasion here. Oh, that's much better. And I'm just going to blend those shades together a little bit so there's no harsh lines. I'm going to go back into Lure right here, and I'm just going to use that to add a little dimension to the lower lash line, nothing major. And I'm just going to take my little pinky finger here and go into the shade she has most used, which is this really light shade here called Exposed. I'm just going to use that to kind of sort of highlight my brow bone. It is a matte cream shade, but it just kind of helps lighten things up a little bit. I think that's all I'm really going to do for the eyeshadow. Again, it doesn't wear too much, doesn't do anything too crazy, very soft, simple looks. I like this palette. Thank you, Mom, for introducing them. Very, it's got a good amount of kickback to them, but very pigmented, very easy to blend, very light and soft. So it's a pretty good palette. Never tried a Bare Minerals eyeshadow palette, but I dig it. It's a good choice, Mom. It's a good choice. Moving on to eyeliner, she has the Bobbi Brown Longwear Waterproof Liner, and I'm using the shade Black Smoke for that. So we're just going to apply that to the upper lash line. And for mascara, she has the NYX High Define. Oh, this is an eyeshadow base. That's an eyeshadow base. Dang it. For mascara, she has the Benefit Roller Lash. Good choice. You guys, so I didn't realize that I also grabbed this other like little eyeshadow palette by Lancome, and the shimmer shade in here, that's going to be our highlight shade. Yes, it is. It's happening. So excited. So I will say that so far I'm really loving this foundation, but I think when using the under eye primer, it actually kind of kicked up a little bit underneath my eyes. I don't know if you guys can like see, but there's like this little streak right here where it's a little caked up, and I just think that's the under eye primer because it wasn't there until I put the powder on, and I think it kind of clinged to it, so that's interesting. Other than that, things are looking good. Except for now we have the fun part. So for lips, again, my mom has one lip liner, and this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Lip Pencil. Also, I'm sure she got this in one of those gifts as well. And it's in the shade Spice. So let's start here. But here's where the really like fun part is. The only lipstick shade also came in one of those kits I can guarantee you, because my mom would never wear a shade like this. This is from Estee Lauder as well. That's the other reason I know that. And this is in the shade Envy, I think, or no, this is in the shade Decadent. This is their Pure Color Envy collection. Do you guys see how freaking dark that shade is? I mean, it's not too bad like on my hand, but it's dark. My mother would never wear anything but like a natural shade. But because this is all I found, this is what we're gonna apply. Here we go. It's dark, but it's pretty. And even though right now where I am, I'm like in a tropical paradise because they live on the beach, it is fall, so let's just go with it. It is pretty, and it is hydrating, but I can never imagine my mother wearing it. Okay guys, so this is it. This is my full face, wearing nothing but my mother's makeup. We have no bronzer on, we have a makeshift highlighter on, but it is there, and we have no brows done, but other than that, I'm actually okay with the way this turned out. My mom has like some amazing foundation, which is unfortunate because now I think I need to go out and like buy myself that foundation because it was amazing. The concealer I already have, but I've never tried this particular lipstick, never tried that blush, never tried this eyeshadow palette, I've never tried that eyeliner. So, you know, it opened up my horizon on a lot of things, or the powder. So, opened up my eyes on a lot of things, and I think it looks pretty good. Again, I have just like this weird splotch under here that I think again came from that primer. But other than that, it's looking pretty darn good, and I'm like loving my skin in this foundation. I think that was like the show stealer. I think that was like the showstopper. Is that what I'm looking for of this whole video? And yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Again, it was very interesting for me to see. Luckily, my mother and I have very similar like skin types, so it didn't go that crazy. But it was very different trying some of these things. And again, I've been looking forward to this for a while, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you do, let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, I'm sorry for the weird lighting or sounds or anything like that, given this different environment that I am in. But I hope you enjoyed this. Again, make sure you subscribe, and yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. And thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.